Hey dummies. Hope you're all well. Wasn't really 100% sure if I was going to be able to do this one today. Honestly. And I know that's pathetic considering we're on episode 17, I think, which is actually really great. I've never committed to like a project like this for that long. So that's actually really good news for me. But yeah, waning sometimes. It's hard after 2 weeks, which I thought about switching it to like 2 weeks maybe. After 2 weeks, I have a lot I want to talk about. I have a lot of things that I feel like have changed, and I feel like I can kind of cover and go over. But, oh, yep, that's right. I'm forgetting to fucking put that down so you can see the thing. But, so, I forgot my fucking train of thought. But yeah. It's been hard to get material. It's been hard to think about what I want to tell you guys, what's important to me. What's changed in my life. Last week I had a little bit of like a philosophy kick, I really enjoyed that. This week, it's just been rough, mentally. I've just been trying to relax, trying to ease my mind, figure out like somewhere in my head where I can just relax. I've been stressed for a long time and I've never had a great place to put it, so a lot of my daily, working on myself recently has been alright, don't stress, move here, let's go. Sometimes at work, it's really, really hard. And it's not necessarily really hard because my work's hard. It's not necessarily really hard because the day was bad. Sometimes I have stuff going on. Sometimes I have stuff that makes my life harder. I start fatiguing a little bit, okay? Forgive me for fatiguing a little bit in this capitalist hellscape, right? But so I start feeling a little fatigued, and I just am sitting there in the back of work, and I have a pretty good job. I enjoy my job a lot, and so I sit there and I just, and I just pretend I'm on my couch, I'm in my chair, and everything's over, and I'm watching a movie. Don't have anything else to do. That's where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. Right then, in that moment, that's where I'm at. Is there. And then you come back and you're like, alright, fuck it, I can do whatever else. I have a happy place. Some place to ground me. It's something that I've never had before, and in and of itself is a blessing. The fact that I have that existence is truly great. I haven't had that for a long time, sincerely. Maybe ever. So, I've been focusing on that, trying to make myself feel better. Trying to kind of work some of Heidegger's thoughts that we had talked about last week into my life and things, manifesting things for later, thinking about things that matter. Man. It was honestly a good week. A week that should have been pretty challenging, and sincerely was a little challenging for me. It actually turned out really, really well. It was actually really good. I have people that like I work with at work, and I try to like compliment people a lot. And this lady looked at me and she was like, you're always so nice. And sometimes people say that to me. It's not a humble brag or anything like that. Like sometimes people say that to me and they mean it. I try to be extra nice. So like you try to get that. But this time, instead of saying, oh, thank you, I try to be extra nice, or like, oh, of course, that's just how I was raised or whatever. I just was like, thank you. Took it for a minute and I'm like, you know what? I'm extra nice. People here think I'm very, very nice. And I was like, well, and maybe not always, but at least in this one moment they did. And I basked in it. I just basked in it. It made me feel good, It made me feel good to think that, like, maybe I'm doing this and it actually does help somebody. Because that's the true reason to be nice, And people say pay it forward, people say karma, all these things. But you want somebody to go home and have a good day, so the next time they see you, they're better. I've had too many buddies that's like, and like it's the same thing with anyone, with like the reason you want like addicts to get clean. You want to see them at their best. You want to talk to their best, especially your friends, and like So sometimes you pass on this niceness to people, to people you don't even know, and you think maybe that'll end up near me, but it doesn't really matter because you just want to make it a little bit better, Function off the idea of like legend, like think not about who you are, think not about what you do, but maybe the picture you could paint in somebody else's brain, would hopefully like lead to hope or anything else. I'm blabbering at this point. Just I don't know. It made me feel good to really focus on that and let myself be that. Sometimes I don't let myself have that little treat, and sometimes if you feel, and that's where there's a certain kind of depression, a certain kind of person, a certain kind of, especially male. I hate to say it, but especially male, that they become nice on the idea that they will have things done for them. Like some people will just give because they're like, this is what you're supposed to do. This is what you're supposed to do for people, but it's truly not. You don't. And I think this is what happens is people just give because they think it like is good to put out, and it is at times. But if you're giving to nothing, what are you doing? If you're giving to a drunk who won't remember it tomorrow, who are you giving to? It's not just necessarily what you get back or what you get out of it, but it's what they get out of it. If they get nothing out of you giving them a gift, you're not doing anything. The same way with being nice. Okay? It's the same way with being nice. Why would you be kind and go out of your way to do extra things? And I guess that goes, and that's the other part of this is the misunderstanding of niceness. Nice is just being like kind, being gentle when you don't necessarily want to be, asking somebody a boring question just because it makes them feel better. Those kinds of things. Not like helping them pack up and leave their newly ex-boyfriend, shit like that. Like the simp shit, And I don't know. I'm digressing. But niceness is just an abstract thing that if you don't let yourself enjoy, will not seem rewarding. A lot of times when I was younger, I felt as if I was the nicest person around. I truly did. Like sometimes I would just be as nice as possible to people, and also kids were very cruel. I was like usually a little kinder than other kids. Like I couldn't, and it wasn't by choice either. That's the other part of this is that I never chose to be kind to people at first. Well, at first I didn't choose to be kind to people. I just didn't know how to be fucking mean, bro. People would make fun of me. I didn't even know what was happening. I think like 2 years ago, my girl's brother-in-law started calling me the wrong name. He was like, "Hey, bummy, hey, cummy, come here," and like I just didn't even, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even care he wasn't calling me dummy. I didn't even care. It didn't even faze me. I was like, it's a little weird. Do I confront this? No, we're just gonna keep moving. Eventually, somebody was like, "Why don't you correct him?" And I'm like, that just doesn't seem. Why? I don't want to correct him. Had no chance, man. Little Christian kid. Imagine a kid. He's like probably 3 foot tall, like the lollipop guild. He's small. He's got a big ass head and even bigger eyeballs, probably a thyroid condition or something. And he's real small, real stick skinny, and he wears polo shirts and jeans and then shark tooth necklaces most days. And he tells everyone about the Bible. And then I think it was 5th grade, I was in front of the class telling people homosexuality was a sin, I believe. I was explaining to people that gays go to hell. And now I have a teacher that I had back then around that time. I don't know if it was this exact teacher who is now openly gay. Fun. I had to help some people come to terms with that. My mother, she wasn't very happy with it. Well, she wasn't unhappy with it, She was just like not sure what the fuck is going on. She hadn't had anyone gay that close to her in her life. So sometimes people do this thing where, and this truly is what it was, but like a Mr. Bean-esque undercover gay. Okay? This woman was married for years to a man, what it seemed to a man. They had a child together. Secret agent gay. And so, like, all of a sudden this woman gets a divorce. Slaying poon. Got like a woman probably dressed similarly to me. Probably a nice gold chain on. You know? Probably hair that is recently short, shaved on the sides, slicked back, and like stops right here. And you're like, how can you style that? But it works for her. And then she probably has like an overly girly name, or you know what? It's probably like a Leslie. You know, where it used to be. You're like, all right, whatever, dude. I'm sure lesbians will take over the name Matthew soon or something like that. Seen a few bitches lately looking like some Matthews. And so I basically at one point, like, and people don't understand, but it was the same way where I was like Christian for a really long time. And one day, the only thought that really stopped me from being like, what's happening here? Like the only thing that stopped me from being a full-on pastor and trying to brainwash the youth of America was this one single thought that I let live, and it created this. Understand? It created whatever's happening in front of you now. And the thought was, how much does, well, I mean, like, theoretically, the political compass south of Christianity, the Antichrist himself, what do the Muslims think? You know? So I started to wonder. I wonder if Muslims believe as much as I do. So I started watching debates. I watched debates of theologians versus evolutionists or whatever. They call them evolution. They call you weird shit where you're like, it's just not. They don't even. But you don't believe in just evolution. You believe in all of it. Biology, everything. It's hilarious. But started watching that, and I started watching these people who were part of the Nation of Islam. Very, very obviously part of the Nation of Islam. They're trying to convert you on a stage where they are debating the existence of like the Christian God. So these are people who are a lot smarter than me. I'm probably 14 or 15. And when you're 14 or 15, you start to understand just how stupid you are. Right? And it happens a lot too when you're young and you're like, I can't do it. You do it. I need an adult. Like there's at one point you're like 6 or 7 where you're like, no, I'm retarded for a few more years. Somebody get me an adult. That's what I need right now. Okay? So you start to get it. And in the same way, whenever you're about 14, 15 watching intellectuals do things, like as far as like what engineers truly do, what mathematicians truly solve, what happens here, you start to really see how dumb you are. And then you start to think, wait, just because they win my favor, that doesn't mean they're right. So, just because I think they're right doesn't even make these guys right. So, it's almost more about who is the best convincer than anything. These things always end in moot. No one ever wins. It's nothing. It's nothing. It ends in nothing. They're presenting the same ideas that people have presented for thousands of years. It truly comes down to who's the better speaker, who's more charismatic, who has the better ideas. But that's the last one. You see? That's the last one. Because it's more about who I like more. Oftentimes, it's about who you like more. It started to really make me understand, okay, so if all of this is about God, Muslim, Christian, all these things, but these guys are just about who speaks better, So then how do you find who's really fucking right? And I started to realize you don't. You don't, because you're too dumb to. You have to know that. You have to start off at the point that you are too stupid to figure it out. You're just a person. You'll never find God. And then you go find him. But you understand, because you started from this base, that it's just your God. It's just how you view the world. Now, there's nothing to suggest even that maybe the way you view the world isn't what happens. But, that said, it's still just the way you view the world. So, just how I had discovered, Muslims believe just as strongly as Christians do. And it's not necessarily that they believe because they're right. They believe because they've been convinced. And that doesn't make any of us right. Just to think we're right. So then you have a crisis. You think, well, if I'm not that... I don't have any faith. My faith was that I was convinced, and now I'm no longer convinced. I'm done. I'm out. What do? I can't go to church anymore. I'm disgraced. Disgraced. So, at one point, you just start to get, hey, did I really choose to believe in any of this? Or am I just putting together the things that I see in front of me and believing what I believe? You know? Do I have no choice in the matter? I was gonna relate this to the gay family friend. I can't do it anymore. But it was one thing that I started to take, like, you only believe whatever you put together. Whatever makes sense to you, you believe. Nobody believes anything that doesn't make sense. The man who's screaming in the middle of the street that the CIA is chasing him, he has enough evidence that it's fucked with this thing. That's why it's scary. It's because he doesn't know. Took me a long time to figure that out. Took me a long time to figure out that these aren't just crazy people that are committing to these things. Just small little things build up, and all of a sudden, you are convinced of something. And that's what's terrifying, is that you're convinced of something, regardless of whether or not it's real. Also speaks to whether or not you experience those things, right? You experience real terror. You experience the real stimuli from these things at times. You just wonder. How real is a hallucination? How real is a dream? Those things. Sorry I've gone off on a tangent. This is stuff that's fun to me, but also I don't mean to sound condescending or like I know any better, because this is hippie mumbo jumbo, and if anyone says it's real, they're retarded and lying. But I am correct, you understand. We talked last week a little bit. I will be your new God. We'll figure this out. I don't want to write a book. So I might be like First God with like an audio book. I don't think I speak well enough for that. But as we get more and more episodes, I'm like, I could just this could just work. So this might be my Bible of some sort. Welcome to Revelation, bitches. You know? No. I don't know. I could probably do that. I really wanted to have a radio broadcast that feels old school. It feels really like down to earth. It feels kind of cool, you know, when you're just sitting in the truck, you're smoking on a Swisher. You just got off work. You're chewing them. You love these cheap old pieces of shit. Nah, it's a Black and Mild. You got a wood tip and it's wine. Yeah. So you're sitting there. You're smoking your wine, wood tip, Black and Mild. You're staring down the road in your red pickup truck. You start it up. You get going. You throw the half pint of whiskey that you had left out your window just in case the sheriff's around. You start going down the road. You turn on your radio. All of a sudden you hear this beautiful angelic voice telling you about God, the trans-dimensional things, hallucinogens, all these things. And you think to yourself, is there something else? Can there please, for the love of fuck, be something else? Please? And then you think, I'm going to find that guy. I'm going to find that guy. Because the only thing that you have left right now is a Black and Mild, wood-tipped wine that is holding you to reality in this earth, and it's 3/4 gone. Okay? So, you just got back from the 1000th consecutive day of working at a place that you fucking hate with all the things that you hate doing, and you think, I'd rather be anywhere else. And just like the fucking mailman came, it's been delivered. It's been delivered into your fucking lap. Like it just got airlifted on AM radio 2200 or something. I'm not sure how the channels work, but that'll be where you'll find me. Probably. I probably won't get very far. I mean, I imagine I'll say something dumb and then I don't know. I'm not important enough to be killed by a government agency, you know? There's nothing. What would they want from me? What would I expose as the government would be like, take him out? Look at me. I'm not in great health anyways, you know? What the fuck am I? They're probably like, give it 5 years. He'll die before he stumbles upon anything. I'm like, oh, did you poison him? No, he's just, look at him. You know? Yeah. What could I expose? They already got 9/11 going. The Vegas shooter is promising. Just a lot of work on that. I can find something to expose. That can be my next week. I can find something to expose. Yeah, I'll look for that. There's probably some child traffickers next door or something. I'll just see what the neighbors are up to, and I'll just talk about it again. I am the most pointless menace to nothing. Oh God. This week I had to go to the doctor, and they said that something has been going on and that I needed medicine. And I said, okay. So I went home. The doctor's appointment was at 9 a.m. By the point that it is 12:30, 11:30, I'm like, fuck it. I think I'm going to see what's up. I called the pharmacy. Pharmacy sends me to this lady. She says it was supposed to be done at 10:30. That's weird. I didn't get anything. Are you sure? Yeah. I don't have time to call them, so I'm going to just send you over there. Alright, cool, bitch. I don't have time to wait either. Get your ass on the fucking phone. What do you mean you don't have time to call them? Hey, I got a problem with you. Fucking lie, bitch. Hey, you're bad at your job. You should have lied. You should have said, unfortunately, I can't do that right now, but I'm going to send you over there. Something else. Be diplomatic about it. Jesus fucking Christ. God, fucking just send me. I was very nice to her. And she just, I don't have time for this. Yeah, bitch, you know what? Me neither. Me neither. So, instead of getting put through, I'm tearing off the goddamn teardrops. Instead of getting put through, I get going. Right? I go over there. Get in the back of the line, which is an aisle long. Okay, you understand? There's only 2 aisles in this fucking store. So I'm waiting half a store. And I get up to the front. I tell them my name. I say, dummy. Dummy. Yes. And so they're like, it's not ready. We'll call you up when it's ready. They make me sit on the side. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Are they calling me for a pickup thing? There's one lady gets called for pickup. I'm like, is that for me? I don't understand. No, it's not. Okay, cool. And then they go, hey, if you wait at the back of the line, I bet it'll be ready by the time you get up there. I bet it fucking would. Hey, why wasn't it ready the first time? Hey, how about I sit my ass in the same chair and then you call me up when my shit's done? Huh? I asked the lady, I go, hey, ma'am, what was that name they just called out? And she goes, I didn't read it. I was like, thanks, you fucking bitch. You fucking bull. God, what the fuck? God damn. How can you be a... Whatever. And so I'm sitting there in the back of this line. There's some fucking jackass up here with his fucking girlfriend. And he's not wearing a fucking mask, which whatever. Fuck you. You're in the pharmacy. People are picking up medicine. You should fucking know to fucking wear a mask, right? And we've gone so far past what makes us people that we've now regressed to cavemen. And this man is picking into his mouth with all of his fucking hands in front of people, okay? Picking his fucking teeth, okay? Fucking just reaching in the back of his mouth like a fucking 14-year-old on prom night, okay? What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? You think the only reason not to have manners is to show people fuck Joe Biden? Is that what the fuck you think this is? Huh? You gotta fucking dig your fingers in the mouth at the pharmacy to say fuck the president? I don't understand. We've gone to hell. We've gone to hell. People don't even understand why there are manners. So I waited through the fucking line. I got up to the fucking front and I got my shit. And I was literally about to have a fucking panic attack. They send me to the left. And I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. And there is a man with an accent so thick that if it was mine, I'd have died there. Okay? He's telling me not to fucking He's telling me not to fucking mix it with dairy. Okay? Not to mix it with dairy. I can't fucking hear it. He's saying the most, like, in an African-ass accent that I couldn't even replicate enough to let you know how fucked up it is that I couldn't understand him. He's fucking trying to say not to mix it with dairy. And I'm repeating dairy? Dairy? And he's like he's saying the word over and whatever, fucked up. And I'm like, yes? And he's like, not. And I said, don't mix with dairy? He's like, and I'm like, ever? Just don't drink any dairy at all? Can I have cheese? What's, you know? And he's like, I'm gonna fucking die. What the hell is wrong with people? Whatever. This place is collapsing. This place is collapsing. Found a picture of a man flexing a Louis Vuitton bag on fucking train tracks of Auschwitz. Place is gone. We're done. Alright. I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick. I'm real thirsty and I'm getting a little Mackie. You know what I'm saying? I would sell my soul for Lindor truffles or... No, please. Okay, thank God. Thank God. For Lindor truffles or Ghirardelli chocolates. So just keep that in mind if any of you are demons begging for my soul. I figured the Colt ad would kind of get that going. The scientists this week named a frog after Greta Thunberg. That just kind of lets you know how unbearable these people would be if you met them. Imagine... it's all a joke. A 14-year-old Swedish girl getting involved, or whatever she is, getting involved in American politics. How can people not see through that? It doesn't make any sense. It's so fucking weird. So weird. And these scientists fucking named a frog after her. I hope somebody paid money for that. I hope somebody was like, I hope some fucking decrepit ass Rockefeller looking guy was like, we need to keep Thunberg in the eye of the public. Buy the frog. You know? They also just named some shit after Leonardo DiCaprio. I think it was a tree. Named a tree after Leonardo DiCaprio because he was like a philanthropist for conservation and stuff, which good for him, I guess. You know, that's what you need in life. But at least those guys are a little less. I mean, the people who are like, all right, do you guys want to name these after Leo? Like, sure, they're weird. They're like divorced mom cringy. But the lady who's like, oh my god, we're gonna name this frog after Greta. She's gonna love us. Imagine her little smiling fetal alcohol syndrome face. It's gonna be great. She's gonna love us. She's gonna come down and she's gonna shake our hands with her little hands that she has, and she's gonna say that we're great in helping the planet. It's just, how old are you? How old are you? Don't idolize 15-year-olds, please. It's weird, alright? It's okay to... But why are you naming things after him? I don't understand. Does she deserve this glory? She is 14. Like, imagine how impressionable you were at 14. Did you say a single thing that you believe now? I didn't. I was dead at, well, and as we covered, I was discussing how gays are going to hell. like 14-year-olds are ridiculous. I don't trust any of them. Whatever they say, they probably won't believe soon. And that's because she's probably going to be fucking paid to say the opposite later. At best. Also, along with failing, we're getting dark here. Along with the failing humanity, there's a picture recently of a man taken, and he's like, he looks like a fucked up homeless guy, and he is a fucked up homeless guy. He's got a few teeth missing. He's got a weird beard thing going on. Shout out Eminem. Beard's weird. I think that was actually MGK who made the lyric, but whatever, you get what I'm saying. And so he was being taken in. And what this man had done was he had pushed a random lady in front of a train at a subway station. I have no idea what for, and I don't think anyone else really does either. And when you see that man, you think, I wonder if he knows that these aren't the paparazzi. Like, he's literally got his hands behind his back. He's like, like you can hear him like screaming like a little Michael Jackson. Like he wishes his hand was just on his dick right now. It would probably be on his dick beating off while it's erect, though, sincerely, considering what I know about homeless people. Shout out the homeless. I do hope they're doing better, you know. It's not that I've ever not had a home, but yeah, I know you'd be doing better if you could. I think that's the other part of this too. How we were just talking about what the Muslim believes, what the Christian believes. I think a lot of times you see these homeless people and it's like, fucking A, dude. Like, it's not like they're not trying to do as best they can. But when you're homeless, it seems a lot further from having a home. When you're fucking laying under a park bench and they go, well, you can own a home one day. And you go, how? How would I own a home? I have 4 things. 4 things. One of them is an iPhone. How would I have a home? You know? Like, I get it. It's fucking, you're broken. You're homeless. You're hopeless. Truly. That was, oh man, that video got me, man. There's a video on Reddit going around. And these fucking protesters lit a fucking homeless man's mattress on fire. And he's freaking out, trying to, like, put it out and shit. Could you imagine being fucking homeless, dude? And the one thing you have is a fucking mattress. There's other hobos like, oh, look at Aaron going home to his big old mattress. Like, you're taking home like hobo pussy. Like, you got bitches going back with you. Like, sometimes if there's like a kind of a gross hooker that's just left over at the end of the night, bro, you probably just being like, hey, shawty, come sleep with me. You know what I'm saying? She don't care. It's a bed, you know? You probably like smashing ass. You're probably the coolest hobo on the block. And these fucking people come down talking about racism and talking about injustice and unequal opportunity, and they burn your fucking mattress, bro. You know, you're one fucking place. The place that when he's having a hard day, he goes, I'm going back. One day soon, a few hours, we're going to be on the mattress. They burned his fucking mattress. Pieces of shit. Piece of shit. I do have a soft spot for the homeless though, and like, and I remember one time when I was younger, and this is kind of like, these are the core memories that make me me and what have made me think the way I think. But I remember a buddy, he was telling me, he was like, yeah, man, his dad was a cop. He's like, my dad had to arrest a homeless guy the other night, and he was kind of upset about it when he got home. And I was like, well, for what? Fucking, why did he arrest a homeless guy? Why was he upset? You know, there's 2 questions there, you know. And he's like, and his dad is always a very nice guy. I never expected him to like be a piece of shit or like do anything, and he never like shot at anyone or did anything like that. I mean, I guess you probably don't expect that of anyone. You're never like, yeah, I guess Elizabeth's dad killed 17 minorities last year. I did not expect that of him when I met him at the barbecue at the park, you know. Like, I get that, but he's a really nice guy, and he actually cared a lot about like his kids and the people around him. And so he was telling me that basically his dad had arrested this homeless man who is basically just like, please arrest me, please arrest me, please arrest me. I need to be arrested, please. And it's like, sir, calm down, okay? You don't need to go anywhere that bad, much less jail. And he's like, I need a shelter. I need shelter. I need food. He's like, we can't just arrest you for that. And so the guy went out. I can't remember exactly what he did, if he broke a law in whatever way, but they basically had to take him into jail. And he got his shelter and his food. And that's just one story that made me realize people are only doing the best they can. And sometimes that might be going to jail for a few nights with minimal fines. Just being like, yeah, I got some food. You know, it's very sad. It's very sad. But especially it gets very cold where we're at. It gets very, very fucking harsh in the winter. Now, after we have talked about that, this homeless man did just push this lady for no fucking reason in front of a train. Okay? And he's probably going to be held very accountable. Maybe, or probably put in a mental ward. Who truly knows? But it is just another symptom of America. Another symptom of the illness. Another prophecy to the fall of America that's going to happen. It's just, we have people that are mentally ill waiting where people who are going to work are transported. So much so that they just started killing another one. They just killed, like a homeless man just killed somebody waiting for work. Or going back home. Who knows? Fucking A. Jesus. It's just, can somebody do something? Hey. When does this get... Hey. When do we elect a guy without dementia? Hey. When can we see who the real leaders are? Like, it's never been so apparent. When I was young, my dad would tell me that you don't get to vote. And I was like, what do you fucking mean? I was like, why don't you go vote? It's important. You need to. And he's like, no, nobody lets you vote, dummy. They wouldn't let anyone in there that's going to change shit up. They wouldn't let anyone in there that they don't want to get there. And so then all of a sudden you think, that can't be true. That can't be true. You have to have democracy. There has to be these things. And I'm probably like 16, 17 when I see this. So I voted one time. I ended up getting arrested. And I was no longer able to vote for whatever reason. And all of a sudden now we have a demented president who I'm not sure if people voted for, that might have illegitimately been in office, and no one cares. Not only that, but this man's not smart enough to do the things he's doing. He can't keep up with this. He can't take this mental load. The people who are allowed to be in office are 35 years younger than him. Somebody can be in office when they're 35. This man's like 70 fucking years old. Get him the fuck out of here. Alright? And no one even cares that he's not smart enough to be doing stuff. That he's not the one making these deals. That he's not the one who's talking about executive orders and like signing things. Like, sure, he's doing these things as a figurehead. There's people behind him running the fucking government, and no one gives a shit. It's the most blatant thing I've ever seen. Like, it's ridiculous. If we got another Eleanor Roosevelt, if we got another Eleanor Roosevelt, all right, if FDR's got a little polio in the brain, you know what I'm saying? If Biden's got a little polio in the brain, we got a new Eleanor Roosevelt, let me just fucking see him. Let me just fucking see him. You know? Where are they? Who are they? What are they? You never know. And that's the thing. I don't know if he ever truly will. I think this shit's just going to get more and more corrupt. Like, it's so corrupt now, it almost relies on that. It's hard not to. You know? People love where they're at. 60% of people are too poor to sue somebody. You know what that means? Unless the police catch you can't really be held accountable. Most people, like, that's the thing, like in business and everything, most people don't have the money to sue people. There's some people that have so much more money that you won't be able to sue them. You won't be able to get your voice heard. You won't be able to get your day in court. You won't be able to have any justice. Once again, hopefully this changes. Hopefully these things get better. And I've talked to people, and they've all made a very good point of saying, one, things do trend upward. Things get better over time usually. People who know bad about corruption and all these things tend to get in these positions and stop these things, because corruption happens quick, happens fast, and it happens out of opportunity. But these people can get in there and dismantle it quicker. And once you do, then you have people who are anti-corruption all in these seats kind of facing that. Sure, you might have a few snakes, but it starts to make its own kind of callous against it. It starts to defend against it. I rambled for a long time. Thank fuck. I needed some time to fill. And I really enjoyed this. I actually had a lot of fun. I wasn't 100% sure I was going to be able to do this. I was very stressed. I'm not feeling the hottest, but thanks for fucking being here, dummies. Thanks for listening. I'm not sure what we're going to call this one. I had a lot of honest-to-God thoughts that I put out here, and this one really truly felt not just like a diary, but like a feeling, a tracking of my feelings towards the world. So thank you very much for being here. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Stay positive, stay nice, and remember to just enjoy yourself. Enjoy it. See you, dummies.